know that you guys, it's kind of a busy time of the night, so we want to knock out this strategy session. Steph, you ready to go?
Yep, I am recording and I'm ready to go.
All right. Cool. Well, we figured it was sort of last minute that we decided to do this, and we figured it's kind of a busy time of the night, so we didn't know who would be able to pop on. So thank you so much for those of you guys that are popping on live for carving out time from your night to strategy out this month. Now, I am super, super excited about this incentive. Plexus has been really, really smart and strategic about their incentives lately. Those of you that have been around for a while, you may have noticed a little bit of a shift, and it's kind of exciting. Yeah. One thing that I know is that Plexus is now doing things that make sense in quarter chunks. So we saw January, it was a big incentive to grow your team. February was the incentive, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what it was now, to go silver. And now we're in month 3, so this is the first quarter of the year, the third month of Q1, and it's to get everyone to halfway to gold, which they're calling super silver. And so we have never really had incentives like this, where it's not only incentivizing you to do what you were going to do anyway, right? We're all wanting to grow our business, grow our team anyway, and incentivizing the sponsor to really do what they're supposed to do anyway, which is equip and empower their downline, their level ones to promote. So I think it's really cool. It's super strategic. And I know some of the verbiage and some of the parts of this incentive may be new to a lot of you. And so I know that sometimes when I don't understand something, I just do it. I just don't do anything. So I figured that that's probably the case for some of you, or if not you, someone on your team. And so we thought we would come on here and do a quick strategy session, really look at what the incentive is, and really look at what it will take for you and your level ones to get there. So really quickly, before we dive into the nitty gritty, I really want you to think beyond $75 or $150, $400. That's kind of the money's, points that we're looking at, plus all of the welcome packs. So really the possibilities are endless. But I really want you to think of what that means for you, what that means for your family, what that could mean long-term. So financially, what does $75 or $150 look like for you and your family? What could that provide? Maybe that's gas. Plain and simple, maybe that's gas. Maybe $75 to $150 means that you are not going to be negative in your bank account this month. Maybe that means that you could start your daughter on dance lessons or afford some uniforms for baseball, or I don't know. It's a baseball season. It's not baseball season, right? I don't know these things.
Almost.
But, I really want you to think about, really, truly, what would this mean? Could this be like a family night out? If you hit this goal, that means you and your family could go out to a nice dinner. I want you to think of really and practically actually what this would be for your family, and write that down. Make that your personal goal for you and your family. Then I want you to think of your level ones. And we can't speak for people because really we don't know what people need, but just try to envision, because I know where some of my people on my team are at. I know that is, they need a new pair of work pants or something, or maybe that's just some more money to get them out of the situation they're in, credit card debt, whatever. So I really want you to take that number and make it personal to you, and then challenge your level ones to make it personal to them. And I really also want you to think of this beyond the money. Think of it as this is momentum for you and your team. This is getting you the traction that you so desperately want and desire to move forward past this month, right? Because our end goal is not just to have an awesome 1 month, right? Our end goal is to have an awesome month that keeps propelling us forward, that keeps us going like a locomotive, that we are blazing through with momentum through all of this year, and we're actually able to achieve those big goals that we have. So I really want you to not be scared by this incentive, because there are a few details. I want you to be brave and grab a hold of the details, and then make a personal goal for yourself and look at your downline and see who you can help get to that next level. So with that, I'm going to actually pull up the actual flyer. This was in your email, so it's exactly what's in the email. And I'm going to go through it line by line so you can see with your beady little eyes exactly what they're talking about, and clarify anything that may have be maybe a little unclear. Steph, was there anything you wanted to add before I dive into that?
No, nope, you go.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So our incentive this month is called Grow and Go Super Silver. So quick clarification, on our team and on many other teams, we call Super Silver whenever you sign 3 people in a month. You've already hit silver and you signed 3 people. We call you Super Silver. So we did a big shout out at the end of last month to all of our Super Silvers. Well, we didn't know they were going to call this Super Silvers. So don't let that confuse you.
Yeah.
Super Silver in this incentive basically means that you are halfway to gold. Basically, that means you have 50 points or 50 ghost points. So I'll kind of clarify what that means. So literally, you will get a bonus for hitting 50 points or ghost points. So exactly what you need. You need to have sponsored 3 ambassadors. That could be this month, that could have been last month, that could be 1 this month, 2 last month, 3 a year ago. As long as you personally sponsored 3 of the people, you can check your box off for that. The next thing that needs to happen is you need to have 50 points in your organization. And we'll kind of explain what that means if you're not sure how points work. 50 points total. And of those 50 points, only 10 of them need to be outside of your primary leg. So a primary leg would be if you signed, say you have signed 3 people and one of those people is taking off, they're signing like crazy, you need to have at least 2 other people outside of that one that gives you points. So that should be pretty clear. Now, if you don't remember how points work, or if you're new and you're kind of unsure of what points mean, basically you get points when someone hits $100 in volume. That will give you points on your levels 1, 2, and 3. You get 5 points. You can see it right here on this flyer. This is how it is always. You always get those points when someone hits $100 in volume. Now, this month in particular, they're going to give you ghost points. So kind of like not real points, but you're getting ghost points even when someone signs up brand new with a welcome pack. This has never happened before. So they're actually giving you credit before they would normally hit $100 because you don't get points from welcome packs. So again, all you need to have ever done is sign 3 people. It could have been this month, any other month, and 50 points total at the end of this month. So that could be half of those points could come from people that hit $100 in volume, and some of those points can come from brand new ambassadors with a welcome pack. So for doing that, you will get an extra bonus of $75 that will pay out at commissions next month. And if you retain that in April, so you still maintain that 50 points in April, it doesn't have to be the same exact people, but you maintain at least 50 points in April, you'll get another $75 bonus. So that's pretty awesome because this is pretty much what we're going to want to do anyway every single month. And so this is just giving you an extra incentive. Now you can see this next line right here. If you have sponsored someone and they go super silver, you will also get a $75 development bonus, and there's no limit. You could literally have like 10 level 1s get this incentive, and you will get $75 for each of those people that go super silver. So that's kind of a breakdown of what it looks like. I saw a lot of things popping up in the chat, so I'm going to see if there's questions.
Maria had asked about if you don't have a primary leg. So I explained in the chat that if you, a primary leg is really anyone that you have a level 2 or beyond below. As your team grows bigger, like Janelle said, if you have like one person that really takes off and you have this huge flourishing team, obviously that's your primary leg. But in reality, what it is the one person that you've personally sponsored that you get more points from her and her organization than anyone else. So if you sign 3 people and one of those people signed one other person, then that's your primary leg. If you've signed 5 and none of them have ever signed another ambassador at all, then you're good because you have more than 10 points outside of any potential primary leg. And we're going to talk about this month, really looking at those people, whoever you have signed, and seeing who has the potential to go silver, kind of like what Janelle was talking about, who needs it. And so then you may end up, ideally, at the end of this month, having at least one primary leg, somebody that's signing people underneath them. So did you have anything else?
One more thing I wanted to add. So, Maria says, can you go over those ghost points? Yes, I'll reiterate that. One thing I wanted to mention, and it says it in the fine print. So if you're on the brink of gold, like maybe you had last month, you had like 50 points already or 60 points or 80 points, and you're going to hit gold. You will not only get your gold bonus, but you will also get that super silver bonus.
Double.
So you would get $400. You would get your bonus for gold plus that extra bonus for this incentive, which is kind of amazing. So if you are anywhere near, like there's any way, and Stephanie's going to go over like line by line how you can strategically look at getting your points in a reasonable, maybe not reasonable, crazy goal. I really want you to shoot big, and maybe $400 is something that you can achieve in this contest. So really quickly before I hand it over to Steph, so ghost points. Basically, typically what I'm saying is that normally you don't get points when someone just orders a welcome pack, right? If you're new, you might not know that. You get a bonus, you get business building bonuses. Actually, you get more money from the business building bonuses, so you don't get points. However, in this incentive, they are also looking at those welcome packs and counting them as if you had points. You're not going to get paid like points on them, paid on the comp plan, but they're gonna look at that as the number of people that you need to get that 50 points.
And that's how they're also paying out on this incentive. Your $150 for going super silver is split in two. So you initially get that $75 right away with your March paycheck, because you have these mock or ghost points. So it's basically saying that you have this potential to earn these additional points. And then next month when those points actually hit, or that you maintain, you've added again the same amount so that you still have the mock 50, even if you didn't hit 50, then you get the next $75. So they're basically saying, we see that you have the potential, that you're growing, and then next month we'll reward that when that comes to fruition, or that you continue to add the ghost points or mock points. I'll break down, you need I'll talk about how many points you need. Sarah asked in the chat, for the 3 ambassadors, 50 points and the 10 outside Premier League. If you've already had those and you hit that again this month, you would get the bonus. It's not just for adding additional. As far as Janelle and I understand, that is correct. That if you happen to already have 50 points last month or more, and the 10 points outside, and all of you hit all those markers, from what we understand right now, that you will get that incentive. We've asked for clarification, and I'll let you know if that's different. But from what we understand right now, that's what it sounds like, because it says new or existing. So
yeah, there's no in the fine print, there's nothing that says it has to be for the first time.
Yeah.
So I am assuming they'll pull reports and look at who has never hit gold yet, because you can't have hit gold already and try to do this. Who's never hit gold, over 50 points, and they're going to get that. And has, at least 10 of those points need to be outside of their primary leg, and 3 of those people need to be their personally sponsored ambassadors. Yep. I'm assuming they're going to just pull reports, and then those people will get the bonus.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything before I go into? Okay. All right. So I'm going to break down with you guys, kind of like walk you through how to either determine if you're silver or below currently, so senior ambassador or a silver ambassador, then you are eligible to earn that 150. If you're above that, if you're gold or above, then you're here to figure out, how do I help my people earn this super silver incentive, because then you've also been incentivized, you get a bonus. So there is a worksheet. I don't know if you guys noticed on the email that came out, Plexus created this really pretty document that walks you through the steps. I personally found it kind of confusing. I know, and like Janelle said at the beginning, if I'm confused, I'm sure someone else is confused, and my brain shut off. So it took me all afternoon, honestly, to really sit down and how do I make this make more sense in the terms that we already talk about, that we all understand. So if you've seen that worksheet and that works for you and you want to use it, then go ahead and use it. I kind of simplified it into 5 questions essentially to walk through. And this will work best if you happen to be at your computer. If you want to pull up your back office, then that information is going to help you go through this. If you want to write it down and go through and look at your reports later, that's fine. I'm going to actually show you, I'm going to share my screen and show you Nate's back office. because I'm sure some people may be a little intimidated when it comes to like pulling reports and you don't know what that means or whatever. So I've logged in to Nate's account and I clicked on virtual office. This is the dashboard that comes up. So where I want to pull information from is this purple points and rank area. So if you click on that, it's on the current month, and I'm hoping this will load quickly. Okay, so it's showing March. And you can actually get a quick shot right here and see, okay, like last month, it shows you this bar right here was where you ended last month. So that's really, you could kind of just grab that information there. But basically you want to know, like, was I at 50 or was I close to 50? Was I at 20 points or 30 points, whatever it is. Another way you can do that is clicking this drop down and going back to February. And that's what you really want to do, because we want to look at your whole downline report. So this is loaded to February. So then you can scroll all the way down, and here's your whole detailed genealogy, your whole downline report. And this is where you want to pull up this information, because this is how you're going to start by answering these questions to walk through and figure out exactly what you need to do in order to earn this incentive if you're a silver or below. So the very first question you need to ask are, who are your existing ambassadors? That's people in this report. Who are your existing ambassadors that will probably, most likely, to the best of your knowledge, will hit 100 PV this month. And so what you can do to check this is February's report. So this is what, from the last day of February, who had PV. And so I'm going to sort by PV. So I click this little PV button. I hate it when that happens. Oh, Max. And there we go. Okay. Lord have mercy. Go to February. Now you get to see it twice. Hey, Poema. Go to February. And this little, this gray bar, you can click and it sorts by. So I'm going to do PV and I'm going to click it twice so that it'll go from the highest point. So then you can literally, if you have like 10 people here and you can see, you just want to see who all was over 100, and you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, down to 100. And that's the number of people that you can expect in March would hopefully hit again. So then, so I'm going to give you examples. Let's say that, that's not an blank paper. I should have come more prepared. Sorry, hold on one sec. Here we go. Okay, so let's say that in February, you ended with 30 points, and that meant 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That means you had 6 people that hit 100 PV. So you would know that by checking this report. You had 6 people. And then you scroll down a little further and you're like, oh my gosh, Leslie Moody only ordered $71.95. So maybe you would make a note of that, and you can make a note to talk to her or her sponsor about maybe one other product that she could add. That would be an easy one more person. If she added, X Factor, she would be at 100 PV, and you've already got additional points coming in from her. So this is step 1. So your question number 1 you're answering is, who are your existing ambassadors that will hit 100 PV this month? Then your next question you want to answer is, are 3 of those people personally sponsored? Meaning it shows level 1 here, and you know that you personally signed them up. It does not count if someone else signed them up and that person left and they compressed to your level 1. If you've been around a little while longer, that doesn't count. It has to be someone that initially signed up directly under you. So if you have 3 personally sponsored, you get to check that box off. Okay, now your next question is, how many pay points does that equal? Which we already kind of answered, 30 points or 35. If they were like a new ambassador last month, they're going to hit again this month, or hit for the first time this month. Like Janelle said, the way that you figure out points is by level, or you can just scroll up and see, like, okay, I ended at 30 points. But levels 1 through 3, you get 5 points when they hit 100 PV. And then it goes down from there, but likely you're only in levels 1 through 3. So how many pay points does that equal? So I'm giving you the example that you're at 30 pay points, you're from last month, and you had 6 people. So remember our requirements. I'm going to end the screen share here. Our requirements to reach super silver are 50 points, whether that's actual points or mock points, it doesn't matter. Just 50 total. And that can be, there's no requirement to get these mock or ghost points. You don't have to have any of them at all, but they're giving you the option to get them if you need them. So it looks like I'm delayed. Okay, I'm good. Okay, people are looking weird, so I thought my internet was weird. Okay, so if I know that I ended last month at 30 points, then and I need 50, then I need 20 more points, whether that's actual points from people that didn't hit last month that will hit this month, or new people that were signing. So if I only need 20 more points, then you can grab your handy dandy calculator, or you can do quick division, and 20 divided by 5 points is 4 people. So then you know that you need to add, you or your team needs to add 4 ambassadors with a welcome pack. They don't have to order anything beyond that, but if they have their welcome pack, then you have that's 20 mock or ghost points right there, and you're done. If you ended with 30 points last month, no one else is gonna hit, but everybody that already hit last month is gonna hit again this month. Then you add 4 more people with welcome packs, boom, you got it. So basically those are your steps. So who are your existing ambassadors that will hit 100 PV this month? Are 3 of them personally sponsored? How many pay points total did you end with, or will that equal coming up this month? And then how many pay points more do you need to reach 50? Divide that number by 5, and you'll find out how many ambassadors you need to sign with a welcome pack. And so that's basically it. So then you know exactly the number of people that you need to sign. And 30 points to get to 50, that's really not that big of a jump. 4 people, even if it was like 20 and you needed 30, that's what, 6 people. So from there, you basically want to look back on that downline report, or you probably know who your team is, and like Janelle said, who needs it, and paint that picture for them. What could $150 do for you? What if we could cover the cost of your own product? Janelle's done several of those covering the cost of your product trainings, and maybe you could find a video and share that with them. So that's basically it. Michelle Hendrickson asked, do those ghost points work for going gold too? They will not count toward actually promoting in the month of March. But that means that you're then set up for success for April. So yes, I clarified that. Miss Susie asked the same thing like right after too, that will that actually count for promoting? And it does not. Maria asked, how many ghost points do you get for each person? So levels 1 through 3. So if you personally sponsor someone with a welcome pack, then you're getting 5 ghost or mock points. If somebody you've personally sponsored signs somebody, then you get 5 mock points or ghost points. And if they sign somebody, you also get 5. Yes, and Britta asked if the trainings, how to get your products paid for on Team Legacy. I'm pretty sure they are. If you search how to get your products paid for, I'm sure we've got links in there somewhere. So those are basically the questions that you can walk through, or you can help your downline walk through to determine exactly how many people they need to sign, or you need to sign in total to reach that super silver status and get that incentive. And then Janelle and I were just going to I already started kind of talking about it with this, how to get your products paid for, but just some of the practical action steps that you can take in signing these. So you figured out you need 4 people. Then how do we do that? And so, Janelle, you want to take over?
Yeah. Yes. I was going to have you show something. I was thinking about if they want to know if they have level 1s that could be close, how to look at their points. Do you have your back office still open?
Yes, I do.
So in case you haven't played with this feature, I think it's really cool. So say you are trying to determine, so this is sidebar from you getting super silver, but say you want to look at your downline and say, okay, I want to know how many people might get that. So this is how you look at how many points they had last month.
Let me find somebody with some actual. So we're still in the downline report. I'm in March. You always have to click twice for it to do. I don't know why I did 0 first. Okay, so I see Mary. And if you look, you can kind of look all the way across actually already. She's a level 3, and she had, she provided 5 points last month, 105 PV. Sorry. Oh, shoot. There we go. There it is. View team. When you click that, it expands it. You can see exactly this person doesn't have a team, but you would see it all right here. So you would see, so last month, this again was February, she had 105 PV. On her team, it would show you 1 new ambassador or however many new, and you can see her downline right here. It would show the same thing, the name, what their PV was in February, and so on. Sorry, I was trying to grab somebody that would make sense, but so that's a good way to then kind of drill down from there. And like Janelle said, find who those potential people are. If you're like already about halfway to gold, you might have a significant number of people, you know, to kind of sort through. If you're a newer silver, you probably know, but this is good to really, to see the actual numbers. Yeah. You want me to show anything else?
No. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know that I have a couple level 1s on this call. I'm assuming you're going to go check your own. I'm not going to do that for you, but you know, if you know people that aren't on this, or maybe they're just confused, or they're not just going to hop on a call, I would do that and then contact them and say, hey, you're at 30 points. Do you realize all we need is 4 more people, and we're going to get you to super silver, and you're going to get all these bonuses, and you have to listen to this strategy session that Janelle and Steph just did. So I'd highly, highly recommend doing that. Yep. So a couple action tips. Poema has a lot of action tips she wants to share with you.
Helpful. Hi,
Poema. Oh my gosh. So a couple action tips to help you to reach super silver and helping your people reach super silver. So Steph talked about it a little bit, and looking at your genealogy. The first thing you're going to do is look at that PV, and everyone that you have that didn't hit 100, you're going to sort, and especially those people that are anywhere close to 100, 99, 95 PV. Those people drive me nuts. Like, just buy a sample of Slim or something. Or 71.95. That's probably someone that's just ordering Slim, or, you know, whatever that number is. You know, the lower you get, you know, the less they're buying. But a couple of things are either happening. One, they didn't have the money. That's often the reason or excuse. Or 2, they don't know about our other products. You haven't told them, or they don't know why they are important. So that's a lot of time it's both. They don't see the value in our other products. Maybe they only know Triplex and they just have a backlog of BioCleanse and ProBio, and you never told them about X Factor, or you never told them about Mega X, or you never told them about Vital Biome. So I want you to look at all those people that are sitting like you're not making any money on them. If they don't hit 100 PV, you make nothing. So you really need to look at, you know, what am I telling people, and what can I start telling people? How can I start educating the people that signed up to get this discount? I say it all the time when I do meetings, you know, I would not buy a Costco membership if I'm just going to buy applesauce once a month or every other month. It doesn't make sense. And these people bought a Plexus membership, so they might as well get their products and get what they paid for. So I know some of this is mindset, because I know I've talked to other people, and some people feel like I don't want to sell people. I don't want to pressure them and make them feel like I'm always wanting them to buy stuff. Well, that comes down to your mindset and your belief in our products. You know, if you feel like telling them about our multivitamin is selling them, then you probably don't have a lot of belief in our multivitamin, and you need to build some belief in how incredible and how powerful our multivitamin is. If you were to take all the ingredients in our multivitamin and go buy all those ingredients at Sprouts, you'd realize our multivitamin is a deal. Or maybe you're just not sure about omegas yet, and you need to do a little bit of research. So I want to encourage you to not shy away from that, in educating yourself, and then educating your people that are not close to hitting 100. So that's one way to get some points from your current ambassadors.
Can I add a little something on that? So if you're, I mean, it's early in the month still, it's March 6th. If you are doing this right away, like tonight or tomorrow, looking at your downline, finding those people, you still have the opportunity to invite them or really encourage them to get on the customer orientation that we do every other Monday. And I have heard over and over again from people that actually attend the customer orientation that now they want to buy all the products. And that's a third-party tool. That's somebody else telling them, they're validating what you're saying about the products and saying, hey, listen, these products are really valuable. This is important. This is what you can expect. And then you can then follow up after that customer orientation and say, hey, okay, what do you think is the next, product that you're going to start with? Or this is what I would recommend. What do you think? Kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's that for your current ambassadors. Of course, you should be following up and connecting with anybody that's on your team at all. Also, if they don't have a subscription on, you may or may not be able to count on them ordering this month. So you want to make sure that you are following up with people. If they don't have a subscription on, I would not bank on them ordering this month. So just make sure you're in constant communication with them and recommending products before they're under 100 PV. Recommending them ahead of time. Like, hey, I realize you haven't tried X Factor Plus. This is why it's awesome. So I think that's really important. So that's talking about our team. Any current team gaining people?
No.
Okay. All right. So a couple, if you are local to Southern California, 4 local events. They're the next 3, and the last week of the month is a Tuesday. So if you're blessed that you can drive to a meeting, lots of people on this call that live all the way across the country that wish a local event. So if you are fortunate enough to drive to an event, get your buns to an event and invite people. I'm inviting people. Literally, I've been doing weekly events since like the second week of January, and I have literally been inviting people to every single event. Every single week, I'm inviting people. And I've been doing this for 4 years. So I don't buy your like, there's nobody out there, there's nobody left, there's nobody in my network. Like, I am working to make it happen. So work to make it happen. So if you're local, get to events. If you're not local, do your own event. I know Maria over there in Virginia has 2 scheduled events for this month, physical scheduled events. Hats off to Maria. She's all by herself out there. So she is making it happen. She's already had 2 at her house, and I literally Zoom in for that. But the cool thing is that we have technology just like this. We have you guys all over the country tuning in. So I know that on either it hasn't been confirmed, it's the 20th or the 27th, there's going to be an event on Let's Get Healthy for pregnant and nursing moms. So kind of keep that mental note of like mommies you want to invite to that. We just had an awesome ADHD event. I think that the interest and turnout was like huge. So it's already passed, but you can still invite people to check it out and follow up with them. And then you could always do a Zoom event just like this. Like if you have a lot of network outside of where you live, you could do a Zoom event online, and it doesn't have to be a full PowerPoint and everything. It could just be like more casual. So talk to your upline about plugging into the events that we already have scheduled for you, and also initiating events either online or in your area. And then lastly, I have a crying child. But lastly, on Team Legacy, we have a 30-minute Facebook event. So if you've never done one of those, literally every single graphic you need is on the thread. Like, you don't have to be creative. The only thing I would recommend you do is go live and share your story and keep it under like 3 or 4 minutes. You don't really have to do a lot other than get out of your comfort zone and invite a lot of people. And then just talk to your upline about getting some support on that. But I'd highly recommend like tonight, bust out your calendar, write down when you're going to attend an event or have an event, or who you have in mind to invite to these events. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we just know that when you get people to events, it's the third-party validation they need to take the next step. So events, huge. Secondly, we always tell you, be consistent on your social media, be consistent with your brand. I'm not talking like blasting graphics of X Factor, graphics of whatever, but talk about gut health all the time, because that's what our company is all about. Talk about omegas all the time. Talk about this incredible business opportunity, the potential that you have. And I'm not saying like tell everybody you could get a $150 bonus. I'm talking about, what that bonus means. Again, not like I'm so excited for my $150 bonus. I'm so excited because I can afford my son's uniforms for whatever, from my side gig that I work on my phone. You don't even have to say the word Plexus. In fact, most of the time I don't say the word Plexus anymore. So I encourage you, get it out. If you have to pull out your calendar and write down like what your posts are going to be every single day, Plexus and beyond, not just Plexus, but beyond Plexus. Maybe, you know, tomorrow you're going to do a post about marriage, and then the next day you're going to do a post about hockey. I don't know. I'm looking at Stephanie, something about hockey. And then the next day you're going to do a post about, I don't know, healthy communication, you know, just mixing up your social media so it's engaging and it's a place that people want to tune into. So events, being consistent on social media, continuing to expand your network on social media and beyond in person, and adding to your list every single day, adding to your list. I'm going to show you one thing that I have been doing just recently. Everybody has their own method to their madness. And I know Susie, I think, was even going to pop on to the team page and talk about her IPA sheets that she's been doing to keep herself accountable. Right? You were going to do that, Susie? Okay. I made that up. Just talk about just what she's been doing that helps her stay productive and make sure that she's actually working every day. So I've been using my planner like really crazy. And I've been color coding. I don't know if you guys can see. There, the names of people I actually talk to every day. So blue is ambassador, pink are like follow-ups, orange is relationship building. So I'm actually keeping track of what I'm doing every day, because for me, I can only speak for myself, it's really easy for me to not work or think that I worked a lot when actually I didn't, you know? Like I actually really just talked to a bunch of ambassadors all day, which is not work. You know, that's not really making me money. So that's just something that I'm doing to hold myself accountable. So those are some strategies. Those are some suggestions. Steph, did you have any other suggestions or something that I missed?
Nope. Just basically, we were kind of talking before we jumped on, but like, this is all stuff we talk about all the time. And it's, you know, people often are like, okay, well, what's the like the new thing, or what's like the one thing I have to do? What's like the magic, you know, wand that I can wave and have it all work? Well, it's the same boring old stuff that we say all the time. Consistent, expand your network, constantly invite people that you have established relationships with and build new relationships. That's just kind of the cycle. And you've got to treat it like a business and work it, you know, show up to work every day and work it that way. And it's, you know, mundane and boring, but that's truly the answer. So that's what it is.
All right, cool. Well, I want to challenge all of you that are on this call to take the time to write down your points, you know, how many you need to hit super silver if you have not hit super silver before, if you've not hit gold yet, sorry, and then message your sponsor, or if your sponsor's not working the business, you know, message up, go to your upline so that they can hold you accountable. So you're initiating that they hold you accountable. And then if you have other people in your downline say, you know, you think you could see 3 people probably hitting that, message that to your sponsor, and then they can support you and help you strategize and keep you accountable. So,
yep.
All right.
All right.
Excited? Who thinks they're going to go super silver this month? Okay, I know Maria, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Anybody else?
And we're going to help some people. A lot of people are going to help some people.
I know. Susie's like, yes, I want to help people. I want to help some of my girls go super silver.
Yep.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys for popping on. This is recorded, so we will post it whenever it gets uploaded and pass it along to your teams.
All right. Good night, guys. Say goodbye.
Good night. Bye.
Oh, say bye. Say bye, everybody.
Oh, Emma.
Bye, everybody.